Hi there, everyone. Delighted to be joining you today and to have the opportunity to talk to you about something very close to my heart, which is the role of technology towards providing a more sustainable and equitable transport future. I'd like to start, if I may, with a quote from Gustavo Petro, who was the mayor of Bogota in 2013, and he stated that a developed country is not a place where the poor have cars, it's where the rich use public transportation. A message that is as relevant now, if not even more so, than it was even just 7 years ago. And the reason I say that is that we have a good understanding of the role of transport as a contribution towards the greenhouse gas emissions within Scotland. But we also understand the contribution that the car makes to that as well. So clearly something needs to change. But how we drive that change is also very important. We have to do it in a way that is absolutely environmentally sound, but is also equitable. So, for example, electrification of vehicles is absolutely going to be an important step. But ultimately, any society that is dependent on the car will inherently be unequal, whether that car is powered by the combustion engine or by electricity. What about all those that cannot access the car? And in Scotland, that is around a third of the population, so it's significant. So in order to reduce transport emissions, we have to do so in an equitable way, and we must support people to make those better transport choices, getting people out of the car and into some kind of shared transport or public transport. Now, we know there are lots of different barriers to that. Lack of information, there's a perception of convenience or lack of convenience, problems around reliability, and of course cost as well. But what I'd like to do over the next couple of minutes is just show you where I believe that technology can provide part of the solution. And in doing that, I wanted to highlight and I guess introduce to you a concept known as mobility as a service. So this is a relatively new concept, and it's really ultimately its aim is to improve and make it easier to engage with alternative transport modes to the private car. So how do we do that? Well, in the first level, it's about information. It's the data. And what we do is we combine all the data associated with the transport modes in a particular geographic region. And those transport modes could be public transport, but also things like taxis, car share, bike share, etc. And we take all that information, which include things like fares and scheduling and timetables and real-time vehicle positioning data, and we pull all that together and we present it back to the passengers, to the user, and that allows them to make the most informed choice that they can around how they're going to travel. The next step to that is the payment step. Now, this can be as a kind of pay-as-you-go model or as a subscription model, but ultimately it means once you have booked that journey, however many different modes you're using, you can then pay for it. And crucially, you're doing so through a single ticket ultimately. So really simplifying the process. And then the third one is a really important one, and this is around the journey management piece. And this is crucial to give people the confidence to engage with the public transport network. We all know that journeys can go wrong. It happens all the time, and that often puts people off engaging with these services. Crucial to that is filling in real-time information to allow them to navigate that journey when something does go wrong. So clearly information around things like cancellations, traffic congestion, and delays is really, really important. But what it allows it to do is, as a passenger, if you're stuck in that kind of situation, maybe you're stuck at a station or whatever, you don't really know what to do, well, your app will tell you what to do, basically. The information will be fed in. It'll say, look, I know you're delayed. Don't worry about it. This is what you need to do now. You need to go here to pick up a bus here or whatever it might be. And then the last piece is the personal information. And I know that that can make people feel a little bit uneasy. And obviously there needs to be controls around that. But this is around providing a little bit of personal information to allow the technology to direct you best to support your particular preferences and your particular drivers. Is it cost? Is it time? Is it carbon footprint? What drives your transport choices? And also, by understanding the user, by understanding their likes and dislikes, we can begin to incentivize and reward different types of behavior. Because when we think about the carrot and stick kind of methodology, we see plenty of stick, and car drivers are beaten with that stick regularly. be it in terms of tax or low emission zones or parking levies. Now, I'm not saying none of these things should exist. They're all a really important part of the mix. But wouldn't it also be nice to play a little bit to the carrot as well, and perhaps incentivize and reward people for making what we believe to be the right travel choices, the sustainable travel choices?